Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, Amica. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late. Nay, not really. But not all of us in Fjord are animancers, you know. Besides humble craftsmen such as myself, we have the rangers to outfit. Under normal circumstances, I'd not sell to a traveler like yourself. But as I'm sure you've seen, these are not normal circumstances. Care to see what I have? Officially no, but I have been known to dabble with essence infusion here and there. I have one such item for sale, actually. A beautiful maze made of star metal, crafted by the finest smiths of Solace Keep and enchanted by yours truly. It is a wonder to behold. Care to see? Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, Amica. Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, Amica.
One job, and I couldn't even do that.
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giada, some manners, if you please.
I thought she was being polite.
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. I can think of one. He's an entitled little worm who can't stand to be proven wrong.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. How generous of you. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Anamancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... No, sorry. I don't know what came over me. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave your Messiverno. Forever.
Some people don't find out who they really are until they leave home.
You'll be all right. My advice, find a good tavern and learn how to prepare squirrel over an open flame.
Maybe if I focus on what I have gained, I can learn to accept everything I've lost. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. I hope so, because we're running out of options. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name, and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. I'd rather not speculate until we have more data. If you have questions, I'm sure the others can answer them. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant. Who knew?
Careful! Or we'll get thrown out of the pub. We're already thrown out. Really? Huh. And when did that happen? Can't say as I remember. You, my friend, need some water.
Spirits are truly wonderful, powerful, self-aware, and rich with insight.
Insight, you say?
Indeed. The spirits have access to lifetimes of knowledge.
A little knowledge would do me good right about now. A pity I must wait until I'm dead.
Would you care for a refreshment?
If you are looking for sanctuary, you have found it. The Gifted Magpie is a house of calm. We have only 2 rules of conduct. Maintain dignity. Cloves, cinnamon, and anise are just a few of the remedies that help foster a peaceful environment. Animancers are miracle workers, but their work breeds obsession, rivalry, and bitter disagreement. Consider the dream scourge. One crisis, many ways to manage it, all of them frustrating in their contradictions. This tea house is where troubled minds come to approach problems from a quieter angle. Regrettably, we are out of tea. My stockpile is exhausted. We have other goods for sale. The fields have been unproductive. I am hopeful that this is a temporary setback and not a sign of things to come. Believe it or not, this building was once my father's grain warehouse. One day, a magpie landed on the rafters and spoke fluent Valian to anyone who would listen. Helia is the goddess of birds and creativity. Yes, the spiritual significance of a talking magpie is debatable. But the tale inspired others to make this a haven of creativity. And so, here we are. Who knows? Either it flew away on bad business, or it was just a metaphor to begin with. A good story knows where to end itself. The bad one.
Come one, come all. My invention is guaranteed to enlarge your essence.
You ever think, what if I wasn't a ranger? Of course. What would you do? I'd be a flower picker. Ah, maybe a cow herder. Oh, I know. A rum bro. Be a rum bro. But I'd make no money.
The crops ruin all of it.
Can anything be done?
Bly thinks I ought to give up farming, leave Emerald stare.
And the animancers are useless. You heard them arguing out there.
Mindless academics, the whole lot of
Welcome
them.
back, envoy.
Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here?
I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. I'd like to be. They're out searching. Someone had to hold down the fort. My 2 youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Three times this month. They're going to be the death of me. They're besotted. I can't get them to think about anything else. Belena and Adalaro were my most promising recruits. Now, all they do is sneak off to... I think they know each other very well.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and What's the matter with you? Besides, bears don't attack unprovoked. And before you start, they'd never leave themselves indisposed near a den. The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
2 young Nemdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. Know what I mean?
What'll it be? Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The animancers never know when to shut their mouths. I might be more amused if it didn't happen so often. But that's animancers for you. Except Giada and Quilici, that is. They are the only animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously. You see this pub? No one here is an animancer. We are Fjord's labor. Rangers, farmers, and the sentries. We've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad. Terrors stalking the wilderness day and night. True. But now, they do so without fear. And that's not even our biggest problem. We've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink while we can. Agreed? Anything I can get you? What are you Because I don't go out of my way for them. Yeah, they're a finicky bunch. My clientele is more grounded. Works hard. They don't put on airs. I like to keep it that way. Of course, Anything else you fancy?
Have you heard? Giata's causing trouble at the governor's mansion again.
You must admit she has a point. We should do something about the Dream Scourge. Not simply wait for it to pass.
Be careful with that kind of talk. The governor has ears all over town.
envoy. Well, what? I mean... Oh no, I mean, it's just that these sorts of things... I was afraid you... It seems I need to gather my... Until next time.
And I really loved him, you know, deep down.
But did you ever talk to him?
No, no, I wrote him poems.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment.
I surely did. You want to hear one? Morocco, you are not lazy. You make me crazy. These are like berries. They make me mad. The Adra is healthy. It's the essence I'm concerned about.
This again. You're beginning to sound like Giata.
Have you ever stopped and listened to her? She might be onto something.
I'm sure her mother and father were onto something, and look what happened to them.
I have to do something. I can't let anyone else discover this. Envoy. I'm sorry. I'm not in a place to talk right now. On the contrary, he'd be thrilled if he knew. Yesterday, I made an incredible discovery. We can use half as much Adra to achieve the same results. And then I thought, what if one day it's a third, a quarter, a speck? No, To harness these forces for so small a price is too much power. Who knows what kind of chaos we'll create? I have been reading Athelmir's treatise on Wotica. Perhaps she's right. Maybe animancy should be reined in. How can I? All right. I'll do some more tests and see where they lead me. But I won't publish anything until I'm absolutely sure.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. Well, maybe to you, but I was educated in the great laboratories of Spirento, in the halls of experimentation. But you didn't journey all this way to hear me reminisce about the old country. What a question! If I were to answer in full, we'd be here for several decades. In short, we animancers study essence, soul matter, if you will. Nearly everything has some essence, including you and I. Here in Emerald Stair, we use essence to enhance the crops, power our machines, even animate corpses. That is a preliminary explanation, but one that should serve, I hope. More than most, but less than I would like. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. A novel idea, that. What I need is a stronger power source. Perhaps, if you can help me find an appropriate battery of essence. I could use a large single block of Atra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
If you can convince her to hand it over, I'll be more than impressed.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amica.
Oh, it's you.
Envoy? Well, that was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her. I don't know. In my experience, it's always the snake you don't see that bites you. Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject. Ask away. There's a skeleton sitting in a chair out on the coast, west of the fjord docks. No idea what it's doing there, but I'm always curious. Right, changing the subject. If I must.
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood. I wish I could say the same. Living landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth.
Agreed.
I'm with you both. And Giada. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
So, what kind of Korba would do something like that?
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's situation.
Right. Like, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giada, but I'm glad to have her on our side.